as a ranger. Wasn't my thing though. Sorcerer is what I played before, so I'm playing something different. There's Mystic Knight, which is like their primary weapons are sword and mace or staff, and a magic shield. There's Assassins, Magic Archer, which is what I'm playing, so a magic bow, which only this class can use, and then I can choose to use daggers or a magic staff. And using a staff, I can cast spells. If I use a dagger, then I'm up close and personal. I prefer magic and distance. So yeah, so what is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 classes. Fighter. Warriors can use two-handed weapons, like what is shown on my back. It kind of gives you a preview of what the character kind of looks like what you would expect, like a staff and stuff. Striders, daggers and bows, like a Legolas.
Have your pick. Any you like.
What do I want to do?
What will it be today? What will it be today? What will it be today?
I guess the question is, do I want to level? I want to hire. So the pawns. Yeah, another side thing about pawns, that the pawns, you hire the pawns. If you're online, you can hire other players' pawns. So that'd be the only multiplayer aspect of it. So you could use somebody else's pawns to use in your group, or you could, if you're offline, I think it just generates pawns for you at your level or higher. If they're above your level, they cost this kind of special currency. If they're your level or below, they're free. You can't change their equipment, so you don't have to worry about doing anything with them, except you might want to take anything off of them that they might have had. So anything they picked up while you were out adventuring, you want to take off of them and put in your bank, because I think if they leave, they'll keep whatever they have on them. You don't want that. But yeah, if you got any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
What will it be today?
Slightly similar to Skyrim, but a little more intense. No. Well, I mean, Skyrim's a first-person, really heavy on the RPG and story. The story in here is almost non-existent. I mean, you're not gonna. I don't know anybody that plays this game for the story. There's like a loose thread of a story that kind of pulls the action along, but you're primarily playing this to fight giant monsters in a cool combat situation, and explore a relatively big world. I'd hesitate to compare it too heavily to Skyrim.
What will it be today?
I mean, it's an RPG. But medieval settings. Each one has dragons and crazy monsters, big monsters. If you played Skyrim in third person, maybe. Liquid Vim. That's good shit right there. But did I just put it in my inventory? So here you can combine things. You can combine various elements to make different things. And it kind of leads you along, thankfully. You know, if you just choose an element, it'll say, oh, you can combine it with these two things to either make this specifically, or it'll say an unknown thing. Then you have to use up whatever it is and make it and just see what it makes for you. There's more. Oh man, I'm trying to remember how many pieces of armor. So Dragon's Dogma does something interesting with their armor. There's a few mechanics that are a bit different. So, for instance, when you take damage in this game, if you take physical damage or damage in general, your hit points will go down. But you can only get so many hit points back through magic and curatives. You actually have to come back and rest overnight, or use curatives to get all your hit points back. So if you take damage, a bunch of damage, I'll go down to, like, I have 1,238 hit points. I'll go down to 1,000 hit points after a battle, right? Maybe I'll lose a bit less. I can be healed back up to the full 1,000, but if I want my full hit point bar, I have to use consumables like plants and herbs and things to get my hit points back to full, or I have to find someplace where I can sleep, like this inn, and basically sleep until the next morning or the next evening, and then I'll have my full hit points. Same thing with all the pawns is the same thing, the guys that are wandering around. So they have to, like, her hit points are low. All their hit points have a little bit of a gap in them. So if I sleep, I'll do it in the morning. So now everybody's hit points will be full again. Now what it's doing here, accessing server, is that if somebody else, some other player, groups with my pawn and, you know, plays with them, then it'll download, you know, they can give the pawn stuff, they can rate the pawn, like, oh, it looks cool, it was helpful in combat, you know, it might come back with things, you get those special points or whatever it is, if they were used. How intense on the graphics? Not very. They added, this is still all the original textures from the 360 PS3 days. They're no longer compressed, so they're a little bit more detailed, you know, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good on the PC. It's not an HD remake, so this is still the original game for the most part. But now the frame rate's unlocked, which is an important factor for me. The console was 30 frames or less. Usually it would dip down below. So now playing it at 60 is amazing. It's super awesome. But intensity-wise, you've got a bunch of options. You know, you can, you know, full screen. You can change the refresh rate, VSync, turn the frame rate down lower for your machine. You can turn it off. Like, I don't like anti-aliasing usually, so I just turn it off altogether. I mean, I'm maxing everything else out on my machine. You can change the FOV, depth of field. You can turn all this stuff down. You know, to the point where it's, unless your computer is like 10 years old, probably would be okay. There's no demo, unfortunately, so, but yeah, definitely look at the recommended specs and see if anybody's posted anything online as far as what you have compared to what they have. What's up, Skelly? Did I re-roll? Nah, still doing the Magic Archer. I'm actually at the end now. I'm going to finish. I'm going to go attack the final boss. And then I'm not sure if I'll start right into the expansion just yet. I might go back to some Morrowind for a couple days or split it up. But yeah, the Black Isle will be done kind of next. BBI time. Big Black Island. Apparently I beat this dragon on the 360, but I don't remember doing that. All I remember is going to Black Island, the Black Island, and getting stuck there. Is it the Black Island? Am I calling it the wrong name? Bitter Black Island. That's right. Bitter Black Island. All I remember from the console is being on Bitter Black Island and just having a difficult time. Like, I don't actually remember beating the dragon. Something else I'm doing that you'll notice, Angus, or you might not notice until I call it to your attention, but the orange bar below my health is stamina. Stamina is a big kind of important factor in this game. After playing on the console, though, I actually just today, so for 30 hours I've been using it. Stamina right now in town, you can sprint and nothing happens to your stamina, but you have your weight affects your stamina, like in Skyrim. All your armor and weapons and everything in your inventory affects your weight. The heavier you are, or Dark Souls if you play that. So like right now I'm average because I think I took some curatives to go help me with the dragon. Sour beefsteak. So, but if light, you can run faster. Or you can roll and do acrobatics, and you won't take as much stamina hit. So sprinting outside, once I leave these gates, before I teleport, I'll show you. There's a form of fast travel. You can't fast travel everywhere, but you can fast travel to major cities, and you can find these large dark crystals around. Like they're few and far between, but when you find them, you can put them down on the ground just about wherever you want, and you can teleport to that location. And then when you're done, you can pick it up again and take it with you. But otherwise, there's just 3 main locations where you can teleport to. But when you're sprinting out here, outside the castle or outside of a city, you'll lose stamina as you sprint, and you have to stop, or you'll get exhausted, and you'll be winded, and you'll be like, you'll bend over your knees and like wheeze and stuff. I installed a patch, or a mod, if you will, that removes. I no longer lose stamina in the open, so I can sprint outside as long as I want. That for me makes the game far more enjoyable. You still lose stamina. This patch doesn't do it for combat, so when I'm fighting, I still lose stamina. Stamina replaces the need to have like arrows or ammo. It's also your magic, so if I use spells, it uses up stamina. If I use arrows, it uses up stamina, or attacking, like any heavy attacks. So like I can... So normal attacks don't take any damage, but if I, charge up this kind of 6-fold bolt and shoot it, you can see the stamina goes down a little bit. So the more I attack, I have to kind of watch that, manage my stamina. But that's a big thing. Okay.
This fortress is meant to protect Granseas from the dragon. It does look very
Yeah, these things. So I can pick that up again and move it wherever I want. But I put it down here before I walked in.
'Tis a heavy onus the men here bear.
You need to save. You need to save when you can. The game will have autosaves for every kind of a major point, but you need to like manually save your game, otherwise you'll lose progress, and it can get rage-inducing. Where am I going? Yeah, I mean it's $30 now. I think I paid $22.50 for it on Green Man Gaming, had a 25% off. So if you're not totally sure about it, you can wait for it to be on sale.
Lucky is the pawn able to fight.
Hydra strategy.
The Arisen sun. I am thankful.
I've learned a new way to
I've
fight
gained
their
some new
ill.
insight.
This is actually kind of familiar. That's so funny. I love that I can't remember that I beat this game. Or beat the single player anyway. Oh, fuck. Thus you tread the path of all true Arisen, to face the dragon, and learn the real truth.
I can feel the dragon. We are near. Here the right will end, Master, and with it,
A black sword.